I'm absolutely thrilled to bring on Todd Bachnes, the Carnivore Cure, who has an incredible carnivore success story to share. Todd has lost nearly 300 pounds and transformed his life and health by going carnivore. He's a big believer that if he can do it, you can also do it. And in this video, you'll learn his best tips, practices, toughest moments, and lessons learned to help inspire you on your meat-fueled journey. So I'm here with Todd Bachnes, the Carnivore Cure, here in Austin, Texas, and we were here for Hack Your Health. How is the trip going so far?
Oh, it's going awesome. It's been so good. Blew away my expectations. I survived the heat, which was my biggest worry. That's did well there. The plane ride was the easiest one I've ever taken with on Carnivore plane ride. Fasted through that, and then just meeting the people's been incredible.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, just the highlight of the trip that everybody in the carnivore community is so amazing.
Yes. So I actually interviewed Todd, full interview, which I will link down below, but I'm going to put up your before and after photo that we actually showed off during the panel as well. The panel that I mentioned took place at the Hack Your Health conference in Austin, Texas, and I got to speak all about the carnivore diet next to my amazing team, Raymond Nazon and Emily Harvo, as well as the greats, Dr. Sean Baker, Dr. Anthony Chafee, and Dr. Robert Kiltz. It was seriously a dream come true. It ended up being the most popular and well-attended panel at the entire conference, and it was incredible to have Todd in person there as well for him to share his story with the audience. If you could just describe in a couple words the before and then the now photo, that would be great.
Yeah, the before picture, I was roughly 715 pounds. That's when I was on oxygen. It was after I had COVID and from COVID, I had complications from that, which caused COVID lung, congestive heart failure, had to go on oxygen, gained a bunch of fluid, was over 715 pounds and just pretty immobile at the time. I was pretty sick, and that was 18 months ago. And the after picture was actually taken about 2 months ago, but down basically 100 or 270 pounds. But that didn't even matter. It's the strength and the healing that's come back up. My oxygen was 88% when I was on 6 liters of oxygen. Now I'm at 96% off oxygen. Heart rate was always 107 beats or more a minute when I was resting. Now that's came down to 68 beats a minute off all the medication. Anxiety, depression gone. All the things are gone. Just completely free now.
A lot of the people watching who start carnivore or who are interested in starting carnivore, they want to lose a lot of weight, just like you. So how did you lose almost 300 pounds?
Well, just by eating meat, really. I'm doing BBB&E, so I was doing bacon, beef, butter, eggs. No, I haven't drank anything but water in 18 months. No caffeine, no seasonings. I've added some seasonings back after the 1 year mark. But I do them one at a time now to see if I have any kind of reaction to them. So far, I can tolerate some rosemary, some thyme, some cayenne pepper, some vinegar. Those are the things that and pickled jalapenos. Those are things I've been able to add back in. But other than that, it's all just beef and eggs. I got rid of all the dairy too, and that was the biggest thing, and just consistency. Like I haven't. This is what's so freeing about carnivores. I have not had the need to fall off or have a cheat day, or there's no moment of weakness, because I just don't have any food addiction anymore. I don't have any addictions, period. I had all sorts of other addictions that are completely gone. Once your hormones heal, you're not so agitated and so compulsive, at least for me, I found.
Exactly. So when I was talking to Lindy earlier, she said that her doctors want to put her on Ozempic. And I'm just wondering if any of your doctors have pushed Ozempic on you, and also what do you have to say about people who are questioning, should I go on Ozempic if I want to lose weight?
Yeah, I mean, no, in my mind, no way. My doctors have always tried to get me to do bariatric surgery. I was 600 pounds when I was 14. So my whole life was, just a repeat of doctors trying to get me to get, gastric bypass and then gastric sleeve and then lap band and everything else. I haven't had to deal with them on the Ozempic stuff because before Ozempic got, 18 months ago, Ozempic wasn't that big, and I had found carnivore. Yeah. But on all the other bariatric stuff they're pushing. But I saw my mom have gastric bypass, my sister have the lap band. They failed for both of them. Now I'm literally watching my mom waste away because she's old with Parkinson's and she can't eat enough food. I can't get enough food down her to get her strength back. She just is withering away, and that's not that's not a cure, right? That's not being healthy. It's just trading one problem for another. It's you're not building a very good future, and that's the way I look at Ozempic. I mean, it's pretty obvious with that it multiplies fat cells, and if you stop taking it, it also causes like nerve paralysis or something with the gut. And if you stop taking it, you gain the weight back. You're not healing anything. You're not fixing any problems. You're not being nourished. Your body's not healing.
Yeah.
You're trying. Everybody goes for the magic pill, and it's so disgusting to see these companies making profit off of people's misery and addiction, and when the food environment is the thing that's getting everybody addicted in the first place.
Wow, well said. Well, I would love for you to share a little bit about your iodine incorporation.
Yeah.
Because in the community, when Todd speaks about iodine and the Steak and Butter Gang, all of the members are very interested, very curious to know how it's working for him and how he does it. So what is your starter guide for anyone who might be interested in iodine too?
Well, it would definitely be to check out that video with Ken Berry and Dr. Brownstein. That's where I started, and Brownstein has an awesome book. The name escapes me right now, but he has an awesome book about iodine, and basically that's where I started when he suggested that everybody is completely underdiagnosed and undersubscribed iodine, and especially by the dosages. And there's just a few things to look out for, but I had the beginning of what felt like a goiter in my throat, especially when I'd fast. I'd have a lump in my throat, a little bit of feeling of like a cramp in my throat. And so I just thought, well, I'm going to give this a shot. And, most people take somewhere between 3 and 6 milligrams a day, but his direction is actually more like 50 milligrams a day, which is a huge dose. And now, after talking to Chafee and stuff, if you have, that could trigger Hashis if you have it, or if you have a proclivity to it. But also, for some people, they really need it. For me, it made a huge difference. I mean, day and night difference. And so now, it just gives me so much more energy. This sounds crazy, but I know this is a hormone thing, but I can see clear, right? I can see more vivid colors. Everything's in high definition now, because I've always had some eyesight issues. And I started with 6 milligrams, and then I went to 12, then I went to 25. So over about a 5-week period, I worked up to 50 milligrams. And as long as you don't have any kidney issues, you can take as much as you want. And, well, not as much as you want, but I mean, within reason, within like 50 to 100 milligrams, and you'll just pee out the excess as long as you don't have any kidney issues. So for me, it's absolutely appears to be correct in my thyroid. It's helping with testosterone. I think that's also one of the reasons that I do kind of a lot of eggs for testosterone, and eggs are the best source of inland iodine, not sea iodine, but inland iodine. Eggs are the best source of that. So I think that was one of the things that was helping me with all the eggs too.
Awesome. So you also talk about having this like boost of energy, like a rush of energy after taking it. So do you know exactly why you have that?
Well, I think iodine is one of the precursors to energize all the cells. Like every cell in your body needs iodine in the mitochondria. So I really think I think it's helping my thyroid. I think it's helping my adrenal gland, and I think it's also it's basically just healing all the cells in my body. Like I crave it like I used to crave coffee in the morning. I wake up and I want 2 things. I want a shower and I want iodine. Nice. Because that's just like my morning routine now. It's the same as when I'd have a shower and coffee or a Red Bull or something. I want that iodine, and I'm wide awake, and I just have stamina for 18 hours after taking the iodine.
That's awesome.
So I'm here with Todd Bachnes, and Todd is just the man. I mean, you're one of the kindest, most hardworking, and also just the funniest guys I've ever met. And it's been a real pleasure getting to know you, man.
Austin's been great. Less heat would have been better. But, it was super fun.
It's too hot.
It's
way too hot, man.
Way too hot. But, it's super great meeting you guys finally in person. I feel like I know all of you. And then finally get here is just pretty surreal from where I was 18 months ago, for sure. But yeah, I mean, it's just a testimony to carnivore. Feeling so good here. Weather and the heat was my main concern, and that worked. So.
The best part of this trip definitely has been just being surrounded by good people like you. It was even a shocker for me. I couldn't believe just how warm everyone was, and that really made the trip a big success. So I'm here instead of Bella because I wanted to ask you a couple questions about how your diet tie into men's health. So, as a man, you want to feel like you have energy, right? Like nothing's worse than getting up and feeling like you don't have anything to give. So how would you say that the carnivore diet has affected your energy levels and also just feeling like a man,
Oh, for sure. Well, mentally, first of all, is where I think that starts because, you don't want to, I had a lot of depression, anxiety, and, men don't wear that on their sleeve, right? You just swallow it, right? And so you do that a lot. So men always suffer in silence, they hold that down, and which I get it. I mean, that's our job, right? Whether it makes sense or not, that's how we think about things, right? We just swallow it. So that's been good to get, to get off your chest because it's exhausting to carry that around for, years and decades. And then it's distracting, So it's hard to do what you want to do. It's hard to achieve the things you want to achieve. And you also just feel like you're not able to do the things that you want to do. And then you couple that with physical health problems that really starts to feed into the mental health problems because, if you don't feel strong, if you don't feel capable, then you feel like, if you're a man, you feel like you're letting you're not fulfilling your purpose. You don't have meaning and purpose, So that's what carnivore's giving me back, So yeah, for sure, that's where it plays in for me.
And you have a very physical job as well,
for sure,
which is really tasking. So I imagine probably helped a bit with that as well.
Oh, it did. When I was young, I had a lot of strength. That was one thing. I was big, but at least I was strong. But, you can only carry so much weight for so long, and then your body starts to give in, knees, joints, and it starts to wear you down, and then you're just not optimal, and you're trying to find it. And you're working hard to try to find it, but it's not working. The answers that, you go to see professionals, they're giving you the wrong answers, And so you're trying. It's not that you're not trying. It's just things aren't working. And that's the biggest thing. This pays you back. And so I've been able to get my strength back from where I was because, when that was the beginning of the end for me when I started losing my strength. Because when you're a man, if you lose your strength, you feel pretty worthless, 100%. Yeah, when you're sick and you're not able to,
perform physically.
Yeah, you feel worthless. I don't care, who you are.
Yeah.
That's why I always worked long hours when I got in the office and stuff because I was like, you're always trying to find meaning in something.
Yeah.
But yeah, now it's the full package again. I mean, it just feels good. Like I look, that's why it's like crazy when people are like, you got to exercise to lose weight. It's like, no.
Not really.
I was trying to exercise. It didn't work. Now that I feel good, I get to exercise. Like it's a blessing that I can exercise now.
If you're new to the carnivore lifestyle and you're struggling with adaptation symptoms like muscle cramping, lower energy, or headaches, it could be possible that you're going through an electrolyte imbalance. What really helps to mitigate these symptoms is to just salt all of your carnivore meals a little bit more generously. You can also just lean on a high quality electrolyte supplement. This right here is the brand that I recommend. It's from Element, spelled out LMNT, and I specifically recommend this blue teal colored box labeled raw unflavored. It has no stevia, no flavorings, just the 3 electrolytes that our body needs: sodium, potassium, and magnesium. This is what each of the packets look like. They're really small, nice and handy to bring on the go. You just rip one open, pour in whatever beverage you're drinking, mix it up, drink it down, and you are good to go. You all can get a free sample pack with any drink mix purchase if you go to the URL shown on the screen, drinklmnt.com/SBGAL. Also, link them down below.
Trust me, nobody has to tell me to go lift weights. I'm so excited about getting my strength back. I just want to be one giant walking bicep with veins on it.
That's the way to go, man.
And that's what any man feels like when you're feeling good.
Yeah.
But you got to feel good to do, to push for that. If you can't even breathe, or, you don't even want to wake up the next day. It's so hard to have that drive.
Yeah.
So you got to fix that part first.
Yeah.
Once you got that, everything else just follows in line.
I definitely think you're right. It's kind of like this toxic loop, right? Because as a man, we've been kind of positioned to, as you said, kind of absorb our feelings, right? Absorb our feelings, and also take on the feelings of those that we love, right? Totally. And at the same time, we also, it's very important to our health to be physically capable.
For sure.
Right? So coming from a background where those two things weren't going so well for you, and then being here today, I think is a huge testament to everything that you've achieved,
Well, and Carnivore gave it back, that's the biggest thing. It's just like, I've done a lot of extreme things for long periods of time, sustained periods of time, but they weren't the answer. They don't pay you back. They don't heal you. Carnivore heals you. This is why I'm just so blown away at the medical response and, the so-called professional response to Carnivore. It's like they sit here and they say, oh, well, we're not sure meat, the all meat diet hasn't been tested out yet. We're not sure what to think about meat. I'm like, compared to what? Compared to Fruit Loops and Pop-Tarts? This is the experiment, and it's gone terribly wrong. And, not to go on a conspiracy, trail here, but the reality of it is that the standard American diet makes men weak.
Yeah, it's true.
It makes men kind of incapable of fulfilling their purpose in life. And I think that's the way that the powers that be want it. They want control, and strong men make it really hard for a small group of entitled people to have control. And so I think that's kind of what this is all about, because they push microplastics and a lot of soy that lowers testosterone. They go after really the essence of what it is to be a man, and they make you, they try to make it societally, incorrect to be a man anymore. So you can see that they're clearly attacking it. We just got to get that back.
Yeah, you're right, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, my last question is, you're in quite a few awesome carnivore communities, Revero, Steak and Butter Gang. Why do you think it's important to incorporate the aspect of community to support somebody along carnivore?
I underestimated that. For the first 9 months of Carnivore, I was just on my own, just watching YouTube videos, and I don't know, I always thought, it's typical guy thing, ego probably, but I don't need a community that's for, weak people or whatever. But it wasn't true, because as soon as I got into SBG, actually, I was listening to all these people talk about, chicken. They're talking about how some people didn't feel good on chicken. I was like, there's all these questions I had in my head, and I was thinking, it's probably just me. I'm probably just crazy.
Yeah.
It probably isn't real. But then you can see the pattern. And then I was like, why was I so stubborn with this? The think tank alone is worth it. But then you meet all the people, and there's just so much to learn from it, because you can see all these different people with all these different issues, that they're all here for, for some for the same reasons, some for vastly different reasons than me.
Yeah.
But when they talk, you realize that everybody has the same problem. We're all just malnourished. We're all sick from the food that we're eating. And it didn't matter the manifestation of the symptoms. We all have the same problem. And so when you listen to all these people with different symptoms and they're healing different things, the words and the testimonies of these people could literally be the same, come out of my mouth for the same thing that I'm dealing with. And so it's that there's a lot of truth in that, right? You can find truth and meaning, and you can't spin that, right? And then just such good people, and it's just so supportive to have a place to keep you laser focused, because when you go out, the world is built around the standard American diet. So it's advertised, it's pushed on us. There's all sorts of money and lobbyists that are pushing this giant machine. And when you go out there, everybody's going to tell you you're crazy. They're going to tell you you're going to have a heart attack, high cholesterol, colon cancer, all this stuff. Where when you're around a group of people, it just kind of keeps you laser focused, going, well, this happened to me. Well, that happened to me. Everybody can see the actual results, and they're recording, before and after pictures, and you can literally see these people healing and growing younger right in front of you.
Yeah.
And it keeps you laser focused. You're like, no, this is not wrong. I don't care what the crazy white noise out there says. This is not wrong.
Yeah. Well, thank you for everything, Todd. Where can people find you?
At the Carnivore Cure on all the socials, and Carnivore Cure on X.
Talk about your live streams.
Yeah, we do a live stream on Sunday with Limitless, Lindy, and Michael. We're called 700 Plus and Counting Down. It's just something we put together. We're also over 700 pounds. I know there's a lot of people. When I was going through Carnivore, I was looking for somebody our size to see a success story that had done it, to give me some kind of hope in something, and I wasn't finding it back then. And then after I'd started, Lindy found me too, and I found out about Lindy. We found Michael, so now we put that together because we just want people to see us in real time, so that if there's people out there like we were looking for an example, we're hoping that we can be that example.
Beautiful. All of Todd's socials are linked down below in the description box. I encourage and welcome all carnivores, new and old, who are looking for guidance or simply more like-minded friends to come join the Steak and Butter Gang. We really pride ourselves on being a safe, intimate space for all of you to mingle, learn, and support each other. Todd would agree that the Steak and Butter Gang community is the most loving community out there, and I can't wait for you to experience how that alone can empower you to change your life for the better. For more details on how to join the Steak and Butter Gang and what is included when you're a member, feel free to go to the URL shown on the screen, sbgmeetup.com, or check out the links down below in the description box. Finally, before I wrap up, I wanted to shout out something that I have been incorporating every single day to protect my eyes from blue light. This has also been helping me a lot to unwind and go to bed early so that I can wake up nice and early. Wearing my blue blockers really helps my eyes from getting strained and dry after a long day of being in front of screens. So I really love the convenience and comfort of these glasses. These two are my favorite ones and the only ones that I wear every single day, and they're both from Bon Charge. This red one is maximum protection and the one that I highly recommend the most, and this yellow one is medium protection. I like to wear this maybe throughout the day. These red ones I put on anytime I'm in front of my laptop, whether it's editing, doing meetings, or using my phone. Bon Charge also has other incredible biohacking products on their website, like this infrared sauna blanket that I love. This blanket is great for anyone who wants to reduce soreness or inflammation after a workout or a long day of work. And it's for anyone who just wants the benefits of red light therapy just by lying down on a comfortable blanket. It wraps around you fully 360 degrees, and all you have to do is plug it in and choose your preferred settings. I'll usually spend about 15 to 20 minutes in this blanket while I'm taking breaks from work or meetings, and I definitely notice less puffiness in my body as well as lower stress throughout the day. So if you're interested in any of these biohacking tools, I will make sure to link all my favorites down below from Bon Charge in the description box. And you can use my discount code SBGAL for 15% off your order. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one. SBG out.